Here we are again on the west coast of Turkey. And this is a bit of a preview, Previeu, because for the last 3 sessions, we have been poking around among some ruins, ruins, 就是我们最近就是很多石头啊什么东西。But now we want to have a preview of where are we actually going. We are not just poking around some ruins in Ephesus. We are on the verge of something explosive, explosive. We said before a bombshell. We are actually creating this, look, new heaven and new earth. Okay, so this little story in Ephesus leads us to a completely new vision of life. And the best exposition of this completely new vision of life is in a place called Patmos. Patmos. Patmos this is Turkey, and this is Ephesus. And we've been here for some time in Ephesus, but if we can just go for a little trip, TRIP, to a little island here called Patmos. There's a Patmos. And why are we going to Patmos? We are going to Patmos because in Patmos, there was a guy called John, John. He had an incredible vision. In his vision, he managed to encapsulate, means encapsulate, there's a Jianghua, the whole of life, everything, heaven, earth, the beginning of history, the end of history, you, me, God, man. He managed in this last book of the Bible. It's called Morsalu. And what happened was that he was a prisoner, Prison. He was a prisoner in Patmos. And he had this incredible vision. Now, this is what we lack today. We must admit that we fail to have a real vision. Where are we going in life? What are we doing? And this guy, John on Patmos, he said he saw this incredible vision. He saw heaven, he saw Turkey, he saw the future of mankind, he saw the past of mankind, he saw Christ. And he showed us how each one of us can become part of this history. In other words, most of us believe, for example, I'm living in Taipei. Okay, I believe that I live in Zhongshan Beilu. But as they say in life, our life, we should be keep your feet on the ground, but reach for the stars. What we should do in life is we must be very practical. We go to Ephesus, for example. We look at the stones in Ephesus. We discuss the history of Ephesus. We talk about Diana of the Ephesians. But now and then, we must, from this earthly existence, we must look at everything. We have this vast cosmos, cosmos. We ask ourselves, how can I be part of this cosmos? How can Ephesus, Taipei, and the whole cosmos be united? How is this possible? Well, he had this incredible vision. He was a prisoner, prisoner. And talking about, he came from Ephesus. He was very probably the bishop of Ephesus. So we're still talking about Ephesus. He was the bishop of Ephesus. He was in charge of many churches around there. And it was his job in life to keep them in touch with the Lord and what they were doing. But he was a prisoner because at the time the Roman Empire didn't think too much of the Catholics and they killed them and they locked them up and they gave them a terrible time. So he was there one day, maybe he was having a siesta, I don't know, S-I-E-S-T-A. He had been working in the mines and he had a siesta. Or he was sitting there on the island of Patmos, and we must remember that Patmos is beautiful. These islands on the edge of Turkey are absolutely fabulous. They are beautiful islands. Maybe I'm a little bit biased because I was born on one of them. Biased, B-I-A-S, biased point of view. Anyway, the Bishop of Ephesus, maybe he was the bishop then, he was on Patmos. And suddenly, literally, 事实上的, the heavens opened. 天国开了. And he was transported to something out of this world. So, please spare a thought for the Genli Dentai, the Veritas studio. They have a difficult job here because they have now, I've said, the heavens opened. How can the man who is in charge of this thing express this idea of the heavens opening? And so we have here the heavens opening, and we have heaven and earth, Ephesus, Taipei, and 2,000 years ago, and another 1,000 years, all in one. How can the director of this program, the Genli Dentai Veris, how can this director express? 他怎么会表达这个那么大的事情？他是 come to heaven. So John was sitting there, he was doing his stuff, D-O-I-N-G, his stuff, S-T-O-F-F, 就是他做他的事情的, and suddenly this angel said, come up here, come up here. So he took off, he looked, and lo and behold, he was in heaven. He was in heaven. Now, I'm mentioning this because he was in heaven. I'm mentioning this because most of us live very mundane lives, M-U-N-D-A-N-E. We live very mundane. In other words, we live very simple lives. Maybe we go to the office, we come back again, we do our thing. But now and then we must remember that we are half monkey, half angel. We are all half monkey, you know, monkeys falling from the tree. But we are also angels. In other words, we are half in this world and half in the next world. And this is what life is all about. And the thing is to get a balance between heaven, 天国, earth, 平衡的. If we're always in the heaven, we fall down. If we are always on the earth, we become cuckoo. You know what cuckoo means? C-U-C-K-O-O, mad. In other words, if all my life is just Taipei, I become a very boring person. 我变成一个很无聊的人 B-O-R-I-N-G. I'm boring. Boring 是没人跟我讲，因为一直讲台北，我知道，你是从台北来的，你一直讲台北的，你还有别的东西要讲吗？请你讲。No, okay, I can tell you. I'll take you to heaven. Okay, I will take you to heaven. Okay, so this program on the Genli Dentai Veritas, it takes us round the world and all these holy places, but we also must go to heaven. Now, this is to cut a long story short. 讲话短说, to cut a long story short. A long story. To cut a long story short. Okay. How is it possible to include heaven, earth, the Big Bang, the future burning up of the universe? Because we all know eventually this whole universe will burn up. 这个全部的宇宙会烧掉了。How can I, living in Taipei, I live in Zhongshanbeilu, I live in Luzhou, and I'm a simple guy, but how can I, in my life, encompass, E-N-C-O-M-P-A-S, the whole of heaven, the whole of earth, the whole of the past, the whole of the future, and make myself into a Superman. Superman, Superwoman. I can become a Superman, S-U-P-P-R, a Superwoman. I can go to heaven, and I can become a king. 我可以变成一个国王。I can become a prophet. 我可以变成一个先知。Okay? I can become a priest. 先知。你可以说，哎，这个人是开始被供，他是讲什么？他是不是已经头脑有问题的？is he cuckoo? Has Father Alan gone cuckoo? Is he crazy? Maybe we should call the doctor. Okay, call the doctor. He is going mad. But actually, we must realize that I can say I am in my second childhood. Have you heard second childhood? You know, when we are very young, we are very excited about little things. We say, oh, look at the cat. Look at the dog. Our life is full of wonders, W-A-N-D-E-R. And when you get old, like me, when you get old, you have the second childhood. I don't know in Chinese how you say it. 你的第二个儿童，你变长. So you must excuse me if I talk a little bit too much, or excuse me, please, 请你原谅我，如果是开始被讲有一点. But what I'm telling you is the truth. 事实上 I'm telling you the truth. And in a word, how can I become today, or tomorrow morning, any day of the week, I want to go to heaven, I want to go 2,000 years ago, I want to change the world, I want to become king. How can I do that? How can I? Father Alan is going crazy. How is it possible for me to become a king? 我什么变成国王? How can I be a prophet? P-R-O-P-H-E. How can I be a prophet? How can I be a priest? 他说他是神父，他是司机，但是我是拼图 I'm just a normal guy. How can I be a priest? How? Okay, how? I tell you in one word. Maybe hold on to your seat. Okay. So hold on to your seat, and we're going to take off. But unfortunately, this program has stopped. So I will tell you next session how to do this fantastic thing. Okay, have a good time. Thank you so much.